I just bought this portable kerosene heater. The company is Caro Heat. I'll put the details in the description below. If we take a look at what's inside, we've got some details. There's the burner, I suppose. And it's in a lot of different pieces. All right, so here's everything that's in the box. You've got this main body, assuming this goes on top, assuming this goes on the bottom. Burner kind of wick situation, heater around the back, this hose that's probably for priming, batteries, and a few other pieces. Comes with some safety tips. You should definitely read these front to back. This thing can be super dangerous. You know, you can burn your house down, you could burn your garage down, you could potentially asphyxiate yourself and your family. You definitely want to make sure you're running this thing properly, and you definitely want to make sure that you're being safe about it. Also comes with an instruction manual. Step 1, it says, place the heater, which is this part, into the drip tray. The drip tray has this gigantic disc. And lock into position by turning clockwise. Step 2, side grills. So these things are the front and rear grills, and they are different. The front grill has this little cutout, if you can see that there, which is probably going to get our hands into the controls. And the top one, or the back one, doesn't. Probably is pretty hard to screw that up. Just be aware. So these hook on to this little thinger. There are holes here, and there are holes facing up here. And this thing has corresponding little tabs. Step 3, burner and top plate. So this is the burner. Locate the spring adjusting the burner so it can be reached when the door is open. So there's a spring here, which needs to be able to be reached through this little door. And then we put this down inside. Seems to just set in there. And I don't know if you can see it, but you can reach the spring through the door. Place the top plate, which is this piece, on top of the heater so that the holes on the attached brackets are aligned to mount the bail handle as described below. So you can see it's got these holes. There are corresponding holes top. So the step 4 is to attach the top to these little hookies. And they definitely hook in, so they go under and hook. And now the handle basically goes through the grill. And then the last thing, these sort of 3 triangle pieces are wall guards. Just to help you space this from other objects. Again, it's a good idea to be safe about all this. The batteries go in this little thing down here, the way that normal batteries work. And to fill it, you You definitely want to make sure you're using kerosene. It comes with this handy little siphon to make your life easy. So, the place where I bought this also sold kerosene. The idea is this goes in your jar and you use this to feed into the tank. You can see this. The siphon actually has this really nice kind of on-off valve. It's really quite nice. And the heater has a fuel gauge, so you don't have to really guess that much. Okay, so lighting this is really easy. The first thing you do is open that little hatch that's above the control panels. The little black knob that's marked low and high, turn that all the way up. What that's going to do is just lift the wick that's inside the burner all the way up. And then down below here, there's this black kind of pedal. This is meant to be the starter. Now, the battery starter never worked for me, so you can either just hold this in, and if the electrical system is working, it'll light that way, or you can just use a match. So when you depress that pedal, what it's going to do is lift up the burner so you can see the wick. This lets you see if it's lit, if the electrical system works, or it lets you get a match to the wick if you need to do that. You want to keep an eye on it for the first little while. And what I usually do is after the wick is fully lit, and it does take a minute to kind of go all the way around, I usually turn it down fairly low. You want to kind of find the flame that's a balance between high and low, right? If it's too low, you get a bit of smoke. If it's too high, you might be creating bad gases. So keep an eye on it. I would never run this indoors without a carbon monoxide detector. I run this in my very poorly insulated garage. And even then, I'm not super thrilled about having the doors closed with this on. Turning it off is also really easy. There's the little lever to the left of the knob. You hit that and it just instantly depresses the wick and the whole thing turns off immediately. It will smoke a bit when you turn it off. So there you go. Safety first, please. I do not recommend running this indoors. With this sort of shed, you can actually see the walls of this, right? So it's just a few old pieces of wood. I was able to get the garage up to maybe 10 Celsius in the winter, which was fine for, staining wood and keeping comfortable while I was doing some projects for an afternoon. Definitely could smell it though with the garage doors closed, even with something as poorly sealed as this garage. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.